All right, guys, we got a few more parts on the ground. Actually, a lot more parts on the ground. I got to thinking about it, and now that I'm going to be driving this thing more, and I've already got it, all apart. I got the transmission out. I've got all this stuff done. I'm not gonna spend the money to overhaul or put a beefed up transmission in it because I'm really not interested in messing with those kind of power numbers. But I do have stuff ordered for the pump here, as you saw earlier, with the brass failure being worn out and that. I got a few things I'm not too sure of on this, so I need to look into it a little bit more, but I've got a couple other parts ordered for the transmission, like this bearing that came apart. And while I was at it, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do the Y pipes while I'm at it. So I pulled the Y pipes out. And there's the Y adapter there, the Y fitting. So those are out. I'm gonna put new ones of those in to get rid of the exhaust leak, because as you can see, we definitely had some exhaust leaking here. I think it was on, it was this one here. You can see how that's all black from the soot. So that one was leaking exhaust, and you could see the back of the firewall was all black. The transmission was black and all that. So I pulled those out, and then I thought, you know what? I'm right there. Why don't I just take the turbocharger out and take a look at that thing? So when I pulled the crankcase vent off, found one of those seals was torn, so that probably explains why we had some oil leaking on that side. Gonna fix that. However, the little O-rings here on the pedestal and the turbo looked okay. There's the two there, and here's the two that were on the bottom. Both those seals were actually all right, but I've worked on an Excursion with a 7.3 before that had this leak, and I decided I just didn't want to mess with it. Might as well do it while I'm here. I took a look at the turbocharger. It looks fine. I checked for play on the turbo bearing here, and there's just the tiniest bit, almost to the point where it's like it's such a small amount you would think it's supposed to be there. So I'm not going to worry about it. That is the Wicked Wheel, as you probably can tell, those of you who've done one of those before. So I already have the Wicked Wheel in it. And the turbo itself works fine, so I'm just going to let it roll. There's nothing wrong with it. One other thing I am going to do is I'm going to have to reseal the, I believe this is the exhaust back pressure valve. So I'm going to reseal that. And because you can see there's oil coming out of that thing, there's oil leaking out of there. So I'm going to redo that and fix that. The intercooler pipes, I'm going to probably just replace, because I know stuff rubs against them, and eventually, you get holes rubbed in them. The other main reason being is we had a lot of boost leak here. When we put that methanol injection system on, over time that just loosened up, and now it's leaking boost. So I'm just going to replace this whole pipe here and be done with that. I don't know if I'm going to replace that one or not. I just need to look at parts pricing. I think I'm just going to tighten these boots up. There is one torn, so I'm probably going to replace that. But the boots weren't that tight, actually, and I think that's probably why they were seeping some oil. So I'm going to replace the one that's torn and tighten up the others. They're not too bad to get to if I still need to replace them. The other thing, too, is I'm getting rid of the K&N air system, or the cold air intake there. And the reason being is I bought a Ford heavy-duty air cleaner system. So it's got a high surface area filter that supposedly blah 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 whatever. Anyways, designed by Ford for this vehicle with this engine for heavy-duty applications. So I'm just going to put that in. There's a few reasons behind that. Number one, I just got tired of having to clean this filter. It was just getting to the point where it's constantly cleaning. You clean it and it looked good for a few thousand miles, and then it looks like this again. So I got tired of cleaning it. Just the time and the labor involved with that, I'd rather spend a little money and just drop a new filter in every 50,000 miles or so. The other problem, and I know this would probably be covered under the 1,000,000-mile warranty, but again, I'm not going to mess with it. I was a little concerned how if I hold this up to the sunlight here, was a little concerned at how I can see, like, not just light through the filter, but there's some areas there where you're seeing straight through. It's like there's nothing. It's like there's nothing filtering the air. It's like there's holes in it. See that? So I'm a little concerned with that. But anyway, I'm getting rid of it. I'm just gonna put the Ford heavy duty air cleaner in. Like I said earlier, just be done with it. So we're gonna do that. Finally, last but not least, I think I'm gonna go ahead and bite the bullet and do it while I'm here. Not exactly sure what I'm gonna get yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the injectors on this thing. These injectors have 360,000 miles on them. They're tired, they're worn out. They still work fine in the summer. The truck fires up perfectly well, runs perfectly well, but it is slow. You put the pedal down and it takes several seconds for anything to happen. And I'm ready to do it. I decided, once again, it was another one of those things where I'm like, dang, while I'm here, I might as well just do this. So I am going to order some injectors, some bigger ones. I think maybe enough to do, like, I don't know, 375 or 400 horse or something like that. I still have not pulled the plug to see what kind of rods I have. But again, like I was saying, since I'm keeping the original transmission, I'm not interested in pushing anything past 400 horse for the transmission's sake. So in that case, it doesn't matter if I have powdered metal rods or forged rods. It is what it is. So there's an update on the Excursion, where we're at now. Other than pulling the valve covers off and the glow plugs and the injectors and all that stuff, probably just going to redo the harnesses again, put new glow plugs in it. I'm just waiting on parts now. So here she is. I'm kind of in a little bit of a time crunch. I got to get this ready for our trip to Kentucky to tow a camper and a horse trailer with the other trucks. So I want to make sure this is all set and ready to go. I got a lot of part, but it's it's not too bad. I'll tell you what, getting that transmission out of the way really opened up the back of the engine and made it so nice and easy to get to the Y pipes, the turbo, and all that, which is why I thought I might as well do it while I'm here. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little update video. I'll keep you posted as I continue working on it, and hopefully everything goes back together fine the first time, and this makes for a nice, reliable towing vehicle.